Katie's season of The Bachelorette has officially wrapped. They finished filming, and we saw the promos for the season. It looked like they were worth about $3, the budget for the promo.
Yep.
They looked super cheap. This is nothing towards Katie. It's just the way the promos were
background.
cut.
It was like the plain white background.
The plain white background, the dresses, the outfits, everything about it looked super cheap.
Yeah.
And there are now rumors about what's happening with the season or had happened on the season. Dumois posted that somebody sent in that apparently it was up to Katie on whether or not Chris Harrison was going to return for this season of The Bachelorette. And
I have it if you want to read it.
Yeah, I kind of know it by heart, but go ahead, read it.
But it's just because I think that the submission said the show was ready to welcome back Chris Harrison, but Katie needed to sign off. He called her to make sure that Katie would be cool if he returned. She said no. Then she tweeted immediately after the call that Harrison would not be returning to the show. Production and Chris were not expecting that. Now they are finding that everyone has a problem with Chris returning as host, and they may never be able to bring him back because no one wants him there. Multiple contestants and leads have expressed they do not want him there for Paradise and Michelle's season. Stick a fork in him, he's done. Now the high-powered attorney he hired makes sense. Chris Harrison will never be back as host of any show for the franchise. Now, it's an anonymous submission, take it as you will, but it is, I believe more of it because of this E! News article that came out right after, like really defending Chris Harrison and being like, Chris Harrison was so missed. It was like so weird that he wasn't there. So it makes me think that like, I don't know, they don't want the actual situation to come out, or Chris Harrison doesn't want the actual situation to come out. But I'm also skeptical on the first thing, thinking that like does Katie have that much power to be like, oh, he can't come back? And they're like, okay, yeah, whatever you say.
Yeah, that is interesting because I feel like maybe they thought since it is Katie's season, would she feel comfortable with Chris Harrison being the host and knowing everything that's going on? I understand what you're saying though. Like usually they don't really have that
like
big
it doesn't
of a say.
feel like
it
like
seems,
has control over production in that way.
Exactly.
Like Chris Harrison decisions.
Right. It seems like, well, maybe they were so fucking like confused on what to do that they were like, let's ask Katie.
Yeah.
Let's just ask Katie what she thinks.
Right.
And so that's what they ended up with.
Because the last
possibly.
thing they need is more contestants like turning on the show or anything
exactly.
like that. Right?
Well, what if Katie did not want to be a part of a season that Chris Harrison was hosting? She's already the Bachelorette, and I don't know. I think that you'll read the facts from the E! News article that came out, but read that first and then.
So very, suspiciously a little bit, that's posted on Dumois. And then today, this E! News article comes out, headline, how Chris Harrison's absence impacted the dynamic on set of Katie's Bachelorette season. A source close to production exclusively tells E! News that Chris's presence was missed because the guys always go to him for advice and view him as a wise older guy, and the ladies go to him as a father figure. During Katie's season, her contestants couldn't get the same advice rotation. Caitlin, the insider, says. I mean, I joked that, like, is this insider Chris Harrison? Because it's very complimentary towards him. Chris was also missed in the sense that he is, quote, the mediator and voice of reason on set. The second source explains the guys didn't feel like they could necessarily vent or have therapy sessions with Tayshia or Caitlin. It's easy with Chris because he knows the drill and the process. Ultimately, filming had a different vibe because it was a lot of female energy in one bubble and hard for Katie to have the full spotlight, noting that Caitlin and Tayshia have extremely outgoing personalities. It was a little hard to put all the focus on Katie when Caitlin and Tayshia were there. It wasn't necessarily competitive, but it was really a different vibe. I don't like anything in this article. Mm-hmm. Not a thing. I don't like the, like, oh, God, it was terrible without Chris Harrison there. And the, like, oh, Katie couldn't shine because Caitlin and Tayshia were there. Like, why are we...
That's just
we're already
saying,
going to pit these women against each other this season. It hasn't even started yet. We're going to say, oh, okay, Katie didn't get a chance to shine because of Caitlin and Tayshia. Like... I don't like that either.
Yeah, they're basically saying like 3 women can't all be in the same space.
Right, like, they can't be the stars of this TV show. They need male energy.
Yeah, it's a fucking terrible message to put out there, first of all, because I feel like that's what so many women are fighting against is like, no, we can all live in the same space and we can all be successful and we can all be happy for each other and we can all support each other. And this article is basically like, nah, Caitlyn and Tayshia,
too big of personalities.
They have too big of personalities. They're taking up too much space, and Katie couldn't shine. Katie could fucking shine if she wants to.
Yeah.
Caitlyn and Tayshia can shine if they want to. Everybody can shine together. It's not taken away.
I hate the way the whole thing's written. It's like, oh, Chris Harrison, the guys didn't have anyone to vent to because Chris Harrison was there, and then also say, oh, Caitlyn and Tayshia like stole the show too much.
What do you mean the guys had no one to vent to, too much female energy, when there's arguably more men because there's 30 fucking men competing for one woman?
Yeah.
You got 30 men you can turn to vent to.
Yeah.
And there's 3 women. And you're saying there's too much female energy? That makes zero sense.
And like, I don't think they have a scheduled time for contestants to go sit down and have a vent session with Chris Harrison.
No.
Like, I've never thought Chris Harrison was that involved with the contestants that much, because there's so many times, and we've had contestants on the show who said, oh, I really only talked to Chris a couple times. Like, I don't know him that well.
Right.
Like, so it's not like he's sitting down and becoming BFFs with every contestant.
Yeah, that article fucking sucks. I don't know who the insider there was. Everything about that is annoying. I understand that it's going to be different and weird without Chris Harrison. He has been the host for 20 years. He has hosted every season. It's going to be weird without him, 100%. But will we adapt? Will people adapt to it? Yes. Like that's the thing. Like, I get that. I understand where people are like, oh, it was different. Chris Harrison wasn't there, but they could have spun it in a better way. Yes, it was different. Chris Harrison wasn't there. It was a little weird for everybody, the production on set, to not have Chris there, but Caitlyn and Tayshia did a great job. Katie shined.
Yeah, listen to this quote.
It just doesn't make any sense, that article.
This is about Caitlyn and Tayshia. They're very attractive and fun and familiar to the franchise, so it kind of distracted from Katie being the only desirable woman there.
Oh, so maybe they're insinuating that the
other guys were distracted.
But Caitlyn. Okay,
they're both in relationships.
They're both in relationships, and those guys that need to keep it in their fucking pants because they're there for Katie, and they know they're there for Katie, so they can't even be around attractive women without wanting to fuck them. That is a ridiculous statement to put into an article.
Yeah,
that is basically. It's just going against everything what everyone's trying to not have be the case anymore. That guys can't be around attractive women without wanting to bang them. First of all, the too much women in one space. Like, it's just a terrible article.
I don't like it. No, I know. It's insane. And like I said, interestingly, coming out right after that submission was posted on Dumois. So it's like those are 2 completely different messages. 1, oh, no one wanted Chris Harrison. He's never coming back. 2, everybody missed Chris Harrison and he's needed on the set. Like, 2 completely different messages.
Yeah, it is. I think that we will find out more as it goes on. Well, we'll just have to watch the season.
Yeah. Yep.